Hey guys, this is Backlog Gaming. I'm back again with Gangsta Episode 3 recap. The episode title is Ergastulum. This is going to be the name of the city that they actually live in. How this episode starts is that you see Warwick asleep and he has a dream. Now, this dream is a flashback dream, it appears, of a murder. Him screaming. You do kind of see somebody that resembles Nicholas standing there as he's screaming about his father. So at this point in time, I am assuming that Nicholas killed Warwick's family, or at least his father, in this flashback. He comes to, he has a conversation with Nicholas and Alex about how he's going to need to do his other job today. We don't really know what his other job is right away, but it ends up coming out that he is a gigolo, that he's gonna go and spend it with a lot of hoes. Anyways, so that leaves the actual handyman job to Nicholas and Alex. What we see here is that they have to do deliveries around town to random individuals. Now, these individuals are receiving paper bags with their names on them with clips, so they know which ones go to who. Essentially, what I've seen in here is that it's either drugs, guns, or money. I'm assuming that's the three things that they could possibly be doing deliveries for. So as they're walking around, Alex is trying to warm up to the idea of Nicholas, basically trying to get his attention to try and break that ice, that cold ice, that cold shoulder he's kind of putting up towards her, just because it's not her that is the issue. It's Nicholas that has the issue of not being very sociable with other individuals. Mainly because his whole life he's been deaf, I'm assuming, or considered stupid because he can't read or something like that. Now, in this case, they're going from shack to shack. They do stop by Granny, and Granny is reading a newspaper. Now, on the back of this newspaper, it talks about the Archangelo family murder that occurred 20 years ago, and it's unsolved. They never found out who did it. With this going forward is that we are seeing that she continues to read the article, and the boy in the article looks a lot like Warwick, the other individual that she works with. So she's kind of wondering what is going on now in her mind. Now, Granny also says something very interesting in this, is that it's along the lines of don't stick around too long, or you're gonna end up dead or something like that. Something bad is gonna happen to you if you stick around these individuals, these two men. So she's starting to get this idea of leaving now. I know the previous episode she was having a real hard time, that she was afraid of Nicholas, in the sense of with him walking around these packages not really opening up to her. She is now prone to the idea that she needs to leave. She needs to get away from Nick and Warwick as fast as possible. And it kind of sucks. I mean, I don't want her to leave as a character. I view her as, a character that I'd want to see more of. I want to know what her backstory is. I want to know her history. So she just disappears after, 3-4 episodes. That kind of sucks. I hope that does not happen. I hope that she does stick around. I hope that Nick and Warwick do make that effort to keep her around. Not forcefully, but, that to where she's comfortable. Everybody should be comfortable where they're at. So they continue to go. She essentially did not go up to this final room with Nicholas, just for the reason of, you later find out that there's a gun in the briefcase. Nicholas did not want her to see that for whatever reason, or be a part of that. He told her to wait here. That's where she had the conversation with Granny about what's going on, and how things are between those two. You kind of get a little bit of a backstory, but you it's clouded in mystery. It's vaguely hinted at that maybe there was another individual lady that did hang around with these two individuals that you don't see anymore, for whatever reason. Maybe that happened. Maybe people that do come and hang around them, male or female, end up not sticking around or dying or being killed, or something bad happens to them. Now, throughout this episode, we then see the other side of the job. Besides the packages, you have Warwick going out and receiving this call from a lady who's married, that he's going to be doing a gigolo thing for. We see, on the other hand, where you're going to see Warwick going out and being a gigolo. He does get a phone call there at Handyman from a woman who is requesting his services, as in getting fucked. She is married, essentially, because he asks, how's your husband doing? He's kind of joking around, and then he drops the comment, well, how much this time? How much are you going to pay me? So this later cuts after a while, after the delivery process is going on. You kind of see him struggling with these flashbacks with that dream, and you actually see his eye. His eye takes his eye patch off and it's scarred. This individual lady, says that those can act up during the weather. She's kissing him and stuff of that nature. They obviously have been having lots of sex because there's tons of condoms that are open all around. She's obviously butt-ass naked. They have their little thing, and they get dressed. They then cut back to Nicholas doing deliveries, and they're getting ready to team up for their final delivery, which is going to go to a brothel, essentially, where Rorik initially, that's where he worked earlier in his life, apparently. So what ends up happening is they go to the brothel. Nicholas stays outside because it appears that the women there don't like Nicholas, just for the fact that he's a tag or a twilight. They view him as a dog, and they make some pretty mean comments towards him. Degrading was the word I was looking for. In this case, it does piss Warwick off, and he essentially threatens one of the prostitutes there that I will give you another hole between your legs if you ever insult him in that way. He later apologizes to the brothel leader of the house. Now, essentially, they get pulled into a back room, and at this time, it's Nicholas, Warwick, and Alex, and all of them in this back room. And he puts a package on the table. She opens it up, and he reads off the prescription, and he asks, "Is it really that bad?" And these are the same drugs that were given from Dr. Theo to Nicholas to take to cope with his sickness for being a tag member. The brothel leader, which is the head mama or something like that, I don't know. Anyways, she kind of makes a statement that this individual that is in the other room, she does not get up and move anymore. She doesn't have any feeling for pain. She doesn't function on a daily basis. That's how bad it has gotten. At this point, it kind of takes a sad turn, and the ending cut that you see is Warwick with a whole bunch of women down below, kind of doing his thing, and they're kind of all over him. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. Alex sees that. Alex also sees in a room, because she's looking for Nicholas to see what's going on with him, that there's this woman in a bed, and she's reaching up and like touching his face. And then the door closes. I don't believe Nicholas was going to have sexual interaction with this individual. I feel like he has an emotional connection with this individual. My theory right now is that it could potentially be his sister, or he had some type of relationship with this individual earlier, and he is taking care of her and has gained the respect of the mama, the brothel, the head mama. And it's very sad that she's in the current state that she's in. At this point, the episode kind of ends with Warwick having a conversation with Alex out in the alley, because she ends up leaving. And that's the thing, is that she keeps having these flashbacks to the conversation that she was having with the granny individual at the shack about leaving, and so she leaves because she's not feeling wanted. So at that point, she goes right back out to the alley that she's always been in, and she's humming that same song that she's always humming that caught the attention of Warwick before. Warwick goes out there, they have a conversation, and she ends up staying. And I'm kind of happy that that happened. Could have been very easily that she just disappeared, slipped him, and that was that. But I'm glad that did not happen, because I like Alex, and I like Warwick, and I like Nick, and I like them as the three, not just the two. This essential episode was more of a story building episode than an action driven episode, which in my mind is perfectly fine for this anime. I wanted this. In the previous 2 episodes, I stated that I constantly wanted to see the backstory, of Nick and Rourke, and, how maybe they know each other, and you're kind of getting that shed of light that you're finally seeing something. I don't really know if it's going to be something crazy that's going to happen. They might develop further on it. They should, going further. But this title of this video being the name of the town kind of sums it all up, that they go and visit multiple people every week or every other week that function in this town and around this town, and you kind of see the town and the lively action that they receive. There's really nobody that hates them too. There's a lot of people that have a lot of respect for them, so I'm kind of curious on what they did in the past to gain that respect and to be those types of individuals. But overall, really good episode. Again, the 3rd time that they're knocking it out of the park in my book. I'm enjoying this series very, very well. And they have yet to have an episode, to me personally, that just flops, that I don't enjoy. So definitely recommending this to my friends to watch. I definitely recommend it to you.